this episode of Road Rage, I'm going to show you something a little bit different. Riding around on my tractor. Got to mow the lawn real quick. It's not how fast you mow, but how mow. No, wait. It's not how fast you mow, but how you mow fast. Got to put some gas in. All set. Let's go. I figured I would talk to you all about something kind of cool, something kind of new. Carbon fiber vinyl wrap. So I thought I'd dress up the rig and maybe show you a little bit about some of the carbon fiber and some of the vinyl wraps. It's not too difficult to do. Pretty much anybody can do it. Just like being in Assetto Corsa. You gotta work too when you get home. Oh, man, does this work? Not really. That's actually kind of cool. Alright, that took about, I don't know, 20 minutes. We're gonna shut it down, back it in here. I'm gonna have to redo this garage too, so I could make it into a sim rig place. Hey, sorry for the clickbait, if you consider that. Exposed carbon fiber vinyl wrap. Welcome to Road Rage, episode 3. I'm going to be showing you a couple of these real easy DIYs on vinyl wrapping. Fake carbon fiber. Yes, I'm doing it. I already did some of it. I'm going to show you how to do it. It's actually pretty cool. It's pretty simple. You just need a heat gun. Now these things are like 10 bucks a piece. I think they're like 6 or 7 foot long. And basically you stick it on there. You heat it up with a gun, kind of smooth it around. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So this is the green, because this rig has the green striping. I decided to put some stripes along the side. I think they turned out pretty good. I just wanted to put a pinstripe along the edge of the green, between the green and black, because I'm old school. So I got the green. I've got this exposed carbon fiber, or kind of close to it. It's just a satin, dull finish. I kind of like that because it's industrial looking. And I also got the really shiny stuff. So right now I don't have anything that's kind of big and flat to put this on, but this is actually, I watched a couple videos on it and I'm like, it doesn't look that hard. I'm going to give it a shot. It's not that hard. Granted, some of the stuff I'm doing right here and with this curve, it's a little bit more complicated than like a beginner should do. And this is my first time. It actually turned out okay. I'll show you around, and we're just gonna go over that, and then your questions, and just want to show you where I'm at on the rig. Just watch a few videos on vinyl wrap. Don't consider this is my first time doing it, and it actually turned out pretty darn good, despite the complicated curves and stuff that I was doing. I kind of want it to look what I think is cool, so I got this vinyl wrap. Just so I don't have to paint this. It's going to match the skateboard wheels. Just going to put a little bit of this green on, but this top thing, I'm going to do it in the carbon fibers. So I take the vinyl, and I want 6 inches by 35. So use a sharp blade. There we go. So first of all, you want to clean it off. Get all the dust off, any sprays or anything like that. You just want a clean surface. I'm just going to unwrap this, or undo it. And what I'd like is I'd like it to come along here and just kind of curve along this line here. So it's actually extending. I don't know if you can see this, but it's extending down further and up underneath. So when I finish the wrap, it should be able to overlap a little bit. I could actually make it a little bit bigger. And you just press it into place for now. It seems to stick, so that's pretty cool. Now there's already going to be some issues because there's a bar here and the tie rod end attachment's right here. So we'll have to cut this out just a little bit and heat it up. And then just start sticking it on, a little bit at a time. I've got an air bubble right here. Should be able to take out. A lot of these will just come out with your finger pushing on it. This one here, I'm going to heat it up a little bit and I'm going to stretch it. Now there's a bunch of extra material right here, so we'll just have to work on that. I'm actually going to heat it up. And just keep kind of working it until you get past the places that have that bottle top or whatever, the wrinkle part. We just want to keep shrinking that in. Now, this is not a video on how to do this per se. It's just something that you can probably do yourself. And it makes it look pretty darn cool. See, we're already getting pretty close. One more big wrinkle. Now look at that. It's coming out okay. It just takes a little while. So taking a look, I mean, I've got these little wrinkles to work out. I can do that with heat. Most likely. The important part is right through here, trying to get this heated up enough and just stretch it into place. Now we're going to be wrapping it around and it's going to be contacting the vinyl on the other side, so it should glue together pretty good. Right here I have where the green tape joins up, so I'm just going to heat it up a little bit. I'm going to cut it with a knife. Just kind of pushing it into place. And then I'm just going to cut it with the knife where I think should be. And you can save these pieces and use them for little other pieces. But right now, we just needed to get it to go around the edge. All right, so I'm going to go right here, kind of heat it up. I'll work on this just a little bit more. So this is going to wrap right over the top. I know there's a bunch of dogs barking, but hey, that's what dogs do. Alright, so let's take a look real quick. I mean, it turned out pretty good. Even the curve. And, you know, I still got more work to do. And I think I'm going to do these ones, these bars. But I like the exposed carbon look. I think that looks pretty cool. I'm gonna leave this gloss black and maybe just do these bars as the exposed carbon. But I don't know, just figured I was doing something cool that you guys could do too. So that's what's been on my mind this week. I've been doing a little bit of work on the wiring, and I'm going to be bringing that video to you as soon as I can. But yeah, you know, I ordered the vinyl wrap a little while ago. Been coming in. Finally just said, you know, I'm going to see what it looks like, and I kind of dig it. It ain't real carbon fiber. I actually do have a couple boxes from Fiberglass. I've got the epoxy, the resin, I've got some gel coat, and some 3K carbon fiber, which is going to be the same pattern as this. But I'm just not ready to do that yet. When I do, I'm going to be working on a seat and the upper frame, but that's going to be at the end of the year. Really wanted to make it this year, but yeah, I'm just not going to do it. Not yet. But all right, so let's get into your questions real quick. First question comes from Aldrin. The motors you recommend are $160 on eBay. Is that too high? I don't want to buy the wrong ones. Basically, I'm not sure. I agree with you. So what I wrote him was, I agree with you. My first 3 were $99 plus shipping. Well, they worked fine, and I'm like, yeah, I'm in. I definitely recommend these. They haven't failed me at all. So I ordered 3 more, and the price after COVID, $119 plus shipping. So I think I was paying $140 a piece. Now, if they're $160 right now, yeah, you may have to. I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. You're in North America. I've searched and I've asked people, do you have better motors? Where are they available? We've even considered the truck tarp motors, the dump truck motors. I just don't know. They're going to work. They're going to work on a rig like mine. So, you know, maybe buy 2 of them and just suck it up and buy the other one. But you know, the economy is it's jacked up right now. So if you're building something, it's just the way it is, and nothing I can do about that. I don't know. I just don't know. But I know those motors work. I'm not guaranteeing them, but I pretty much guarantee they work. All right, next question. All right, this one is from Daryl Wyrick. Basically, he's saying, hey, I watched some of your videos. It's easy to follow, which, yeah, you know what? I tried to make it that way. I really want to make them easy to follow. So he's trying to build a direct drive wheelbase, and he says in regards to cooling, he'd rather pull the air across the component to cool it rather than blowing air onto it. Well, you may have a point, and that may work better. I don't know. I haven't done any tests on that. If I retire eventually, maybe I will make a thermal test, because I have a thermal probe. There's a laser. We'll scan the device, and I can see whether it's running hotter or cooler, depending whether you're blowing air on it or not. But my thoughts were always, if you look at a CPU, are they blowing air or are they pulling air? So which is weird, because I have a CPU which has Noctua fans. So one blows air and one blows air away from it. So it's like, basically it's sucking air across all the fins. So I don't know. Good question. I just haven't had the time to try it out. But on a general CPU, you're blowing air down on the thing, and at least as far as the times that I've hooked up a fan. But, you know, it may be the other way. It may be better the other way. I'm just not sure. But good question. Let's go on to the next. All right, so this is a good question from somebody who
kind of is involved in the same stuff I used to be involved in. I've used windshield wiper motors on Halloween props. And this is from GWMGBWI. Okay, so, and he's thinking there's no way that those little motors are going to move the seat, you know, and you're right. And I had the same thing. I didn't think, I'm like, there's no freaking way they're going to move him. And I did a video on how to remove the ground as best I could and get the motor to spin both directions without shorting out. It's just a pain to use windshield wiper motors, and unless there's some big old things with, you know, maybe 2 wires and make it simple, it's just a pain. And the performance, as opposed to the time that you put into it, just spend the money and get something industrial. But I made the video just to show you guys, you know, what you needed to do if you want to do it real cheap. I mean, these motors are like, I think they were $10. I mean, I probably have maybe 12 of them from my old. Okay, so here's the thing. I used to have a Halloween haunted attraction. So I would take, you know, move heads and arms and all these different things to and pop out to scare people. And that's when I lived in Florida, where people were more accepted to that. I live in Mississippi and everybody's scared of ghosts. So it ain't gonna happen. I'm not gonna build one in Mississippi. It ain't gonna happen. But anyway, it was a great question. And, you know, very thoughtful. Yeah, this ain't gonna work. And yeah, it did work, but it wasn't convincing. That's why I followed that series up with the 24 volt, the wheelchair thing, just to move the seat. And yeah, that was more convincing. But for a 3 degree of freedom, full frame rig, I would really stick to what I'm kind of doing. Or, you know, look around on xsimulator.net and try to find, you know, something that many people have been able to accomplish with the similar materials and go that direction. All right, next question. Okay, so this question is from on email. So my email address is maxmotionsimulator@gmail.com. It's on the board here. And Bonnie English, he writes me, he's been watching the videos. He's 80, which I'm not too far away, but I'm not 80, so I still got a little bit to go. Is there a comprehensive list of things, you know, to build this? And yeah, I understand everybody wants a list, so they can just go click, 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 click. But the problem with those is they get out of date. A lot of the materials that we're ordering are actually on the internet, so the lengths are going to change and things like that. So you need to know the terms, like how to search for this type of device and that type of device. On my new series, the wiring thing, which is probably one of the more, you got to order a bunch of different little things here and there. I'm trying to go over what you need specifically and how to search for them, you know, what name or whatever to search for. So I'm trying to come up with that. All these things are going to be in the description of the video. So if you never clicked on the description, you just click down there somewhere and that's where it's at. And good question. Good question. Good question, Bonnie English. I appreciate it. So we're getting close to the end here. Louis Pinho writes in, "Hey, I've already have the materials. I want to try an AS 5600 instead of Hall pots to save some money." Well, you know, Louis, it may work. It may work fine. But the reason I chose the Hall effect sensors is because a lot of guys on xsimulator.net said, yeah, these work. And I just wanted something that worked and didn't give me any trouble. They're $26 a piece. So you're in $50 for a 2-degree. You're in, like 80 with shipping and all that for 3. And they're not always available, which is kind of a pain, because I've seen that DIGI-Key, who I usually order them from, sometimes they've been out of stock, and that's just the way it is. I'm not really sure what to do about that because I don't control the economy, but you can try those and just see if they work. But, I know that the Hall effect pots or Hall effect sensors, because there's a magnetic thing in there, so it's not actually touching. I know they work. So I'm trying to make it simple for me. I'm trying to make it simple for you and give you guys, what I've been using. And Hall effect sensors, 180 degrees, don't get something different than that. Your motor is only going to be able to move. Its effective range of motion is going to be less than 180 degrees unless you get it perfect. So you don't need 360 or something 720 or something like that. It's going to cause a headache. Just get the 180 degree, so you get half, whatever, half of 360. Get that type and move on. Just save yourself some trouble. Unless you're trying to do something else, but that's not what this video is about. All right, next question. All right, so buddy of mine, Wes Lewis, says, hey, great video, Dave. And another Racer XTC Online, $50 in super thanks. Oh, man, I just can't thank you enough. That money will go directly into the channel. Well, you know that. And I appreciate it so much. And if any of you guys do want to do the super thanks thing, I'm not asking for it. I do qualify for it, apparently. So you just click that little thing down on the bottom that says thanks and has like a finger or something like that, or thumb, not a finger. Don't want to do that, but appreciate it, all you guys. All right, on to the next. All right, this is from Rebar77. I wonder how much those 12-volt motors can be safely overvolted for a performance boost, kind of like overclocking. Would it depend on cooling at that point, besides the quality of the motors themselves? Well, I would say probably a little bit, because the battery, the truck battery, it's a 850 cold cranking amp battery that I run my race rig on. I'm sure it doesn't put out 12 volts. It puts out like 13 or something like that. So I'm already just a little bit over, but I wouldn't try to, push them more than that. I wouldn't try to go, let's put 18 volts on them, because, that's not what they're made for. Now, if you have a 24 volt motor and you run it at 12, it's going to go half speed. Probably pretty safe, because you're not even coming close. Now, some engineering guys may differ with me, but we argue about crap like that all the time. But I think if you put a 12 volt motor and give it 36 volts, it's going to run like stink for a little bit and blow up. Just my opinion. I may do an experiment on that, because it's kind of intriguing to me. But let's, all right, so wait, real quick. Let's go back to my comment. I don't know who the Crab Pot Motors makes. Who makes the Crab Pot Motors? I just know where to get them. So I've seen the guys on xsimulator.net attaching fins to their motors for heat dissipation. Not everybody, but some of them. So, and I don't know if that is a resistance problem in the wiring. Maybe the wiring has a little bit of, it's not making real good contact. You're not soldering them or something like that. You could build up resistance and heat and cause your motors to overheat. Look on xsimulator.net. That's where I learned well, how to build the whole thing. I mean, I knew how to do some stuff, but yeah, basically that's why I'm doing these videos, guys, because I know everybody doesn't need, doesn't want to search through hours and hours and days and weeks of forums, words on pages to find information. So I'm trying to make it simple. Do this, do that, do that. You probably will be fine. And that's from information that I've gleaned from that website. Now, it seems to work for me, but there is no guarantee either. Next question. This one from Todd Grant. Thank you for the hard work putting together these videos. Do you have any plans to build, or would you recommend building a 2 degree of traction or 2 degree of freedom plus traction loss like yours with wheelchair motors? Right off the bat, I think it would work. I mean, 24 volts to give you a little bit more punch. The seat mover that I made, it was only using 18-to-1 wheelchair motors. So they're called Jazzies, and the granularity of 18-to-1, it's only spinning around 18 times before it spins the whole thing around once, and you're only getting half. But the crab pot motors, they spin around 50 times, so roughly 2.5, 3 times more. You get a little bit better control, a little bit finer detail. So they're just a little bit choppy if you would use 24, but I would think that they would work. So basically what I would say is the price for wheelchair motors, they're pretty high too. I got a really good deal. I mean, 2 of them were like $60. And I'm like, why not? I just buy them as an experiment. But yeah, now that the crab pot motors have gone up a little bit, I'd still get those. Okay, so last question from Ultra Instinct. The motors you use on the 2 DOF, can they be used to make a 4 degree of freedom instead of actuators? Yeah, that's a great question, and I've been thinking about that too. The issue is that you don't have that center U-joint. So all the weight right now on the 3 degree of freedom on a seat mover, it's all on a U-joint. So that supports everything. If you were to take away that U-joint and put 4 motors, oh my gosh, the amperage for each motor is going to be constant just to hold the chair in position. And yeah, it's going to respond and everything just pretty much the same to me. But you're going to lose that heave thing, that up and down thing. If you're going to do that, I would go with 6 degrees, because you're spreading the load not only on 4 motors, but you're spreading it across 6. So the load per motor is going to go down. Then again, we're getting into experimental science here, something that I have not done. I do have 6 crab pot motors, and for me to use them all on a 6 degree of freedom rig or a 4, I have to disable one or both. I have to disable both of my rigs, and I'm not really willing to do that yet. I'm going to, but I'm not willing to do it yet because I'm having a heck of a good time racing on ACF with the guys every Saturday. I mean, we have a league. Everybody kind of knows each other and knows each other's driving styles. Check it out, because hey, link is in the description. A bunch of guys that have watched my videos have joined up and are racing with us pretty much every Saturday. And the races actually go Saturday. I think there's something on Sunday, there's something on Tuesday, there's something on Thursday, and a couple of the days during the week, the admins are testing cars and tracks to make sure that we have a good experience.
All right, so thanks for joining me on Road Rage episode 3. All right, man. Remember to stay tuned. Hopefully next week I'll have the edited version of the wiring ready to go, and we'll go from there. So we got wiring, we got SMC3, that's going to be getting the motors to move, and then sim tools, and that's going to move the whole rig along with the game. All right, so I'm going to be showing you a lot of things, going over a lot of stuff that I've done in other videos. I'm just going to try to do a better job this next time. All right, guys, keep plugging away. Get it out.